Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the NAU-Yuma Research Symposium slideshow. I'm going to go over why you should attend the symposium, how you go about signing up, and then maybe additional questions that you might have. My name is Gabriella. I work in the library under Amy Quinn, and if you have questions, there's some information at the end for contact. All right, what is the Research Symposium? The Research Symposium is a esteemed event where dozens of students from all different disciplines, so like social work, engineering, nursing, they all come together and present their findings to the community. For some, this is a requirement for a class, and for others, it's just a fun kind of experiment. Here are some important deadlines to write down now before we get into the specifics. The deadline for the sign-up, abstract, and poster submission is going to be March 20th. If you don't get it in by March 20th, you might not be able to present. If you have any delays, please reach out to either your instructors or one of us so that we can make some arrangements. The actual symposium itself is April 15th for online presentations, and then the 16th in person, and we'll have more info about that later on. These are just a few reasons why you should participate in the symposium. Your professors will have many more for you also. It can help build your resume as you go out into the field. It can help with networking. We often have different recruiters and stuff that come to these events. Over the past few years, we've had Onvita's Medical Center, the main campus programs, and then sometimes community programs like engineering firms and stuff will come visit too. And then as always, presentations help with communication. All right, here are the specifics for the poster. This is super important because if it doesn't get formatted correctly, you might not have a poster to present. First off, check with your instructors, okay? They have specifics. Some teachers want a specific color, a specific layout. Always check with them first, okay? The most important part of this, I even highlighted it, the posters must be formatted to a PDF that is 34 by 44 inches. If you just submit it however it's supposed to be submitted, you could end up with a tiny poster. We had a poster last year that was like this big. It was cute, but hard to read off of. Make it easy to read. We have people of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and then also make sure to consider accessibility for those that have, vision problems or color blindness. Proofread it, okay? A tiny error blown up on a huge poster makes it a big error. Now let's look at the example real quick. This is just one of the winning posters from the past years. This is how their discipline wanted it laid out. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. Some recommendations. I won't go over it too far in detail. Keep it simple, right? The more text you have on there, the harder it is to read. Use visuals. Now is your chance to be a designer. Use Canva. Do whatever. Keep it short, okay? Run-on sentences can kind of help weigh your content down. Make it memorable, right? There's dozens of posters being presented, and you want yours to be the one that is remembered. Test it, and then test it again. And then highlight your main points in your poster, right? You can add stuff as you present your poster, but the most important stuff has to be up there. All right. Don't panic. Let's talk about submitting the presentation now. So I'm going to present on the next few slides and walk you through how to go ahead and submit the presentation. If you want to pause it. I'll have a QR code on the next slide. And let's just walk through it. No worries. All right, so go ahead and scan this QR code. The QR code is going to take you to the website. Okay? Good. How to register. All right. So first you want to click register to present. It's the one I have circled. If you're an NAU student, the fastest way is to log in with your NAU ID. If not, you'll have to create a whole account with demographics. If you're a reviewer or a judge watching this video, there's a separate video. So go ahead, go back, find that one. This is for students. Once you enter your email address and password, the orange button, Login with NAU ID, will take you there. The first main step that's new, you have to manage the collaborators. The button is going to be on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll click Manage Collaborators, and you have to add every person from your presentation in the list. Okay? So that's kind of how it looks once you add them in there. You have to have their name, their email address, and you'll mark them as primary or not. You can hit Make Primary on the right-hand side where it says Action, or you can remove access, which means they can't update anything. If the person on your team is not on that list, they might not get credit for their assignment, and they might not be in the brochure. So it's extremely important this year that you add collaborators. And then after you add collaborators, you'll just go back and hit Next. This is the basic information, right? This is your email address, if you're a graduate student or not, where you're coming from, your major, all that good stuff. You'll fill it out just like anything. Make sure that you hit Save if you're not going to finish it all at once. If you are, then that doesn't apply. Move on to the next one. You'll want to fill out some of the information, and you can always, when you hit Save, you can always go back into your draft and keep adding. But it's good to add like a sentence or two in those areas so that you remember where you were going. The title, that's how you want the presentation to appear to everybody, okay? So make sure you don't put in a goofy title. The abstract is just a basic concept, right? It's going to be why you picked what you did, what you picked, and then the findings. It's got a word limit for a reason. It's not an essay. So just do the best you can. And ask your professors if you need help coming up with an abstract. The final steps, there it is again. The poster must be submitted to a PDF that is 34 by 44 inches. So however you do your presentation, whether it's a poster, an audio clip, both, you're just going to put that in there. You'll hit Choose File, you'll upload it, and then you'll be good to go. I circled down on the right-hand side there. You have to agree to have your name, presentation, and abstract in the brochure. Otherwise, you won't be listed in there and people won't know where your presentation is. If you have concerns about your name being in there, it's really helpful if you talk to your professor or one of us. We can make some arrangements and get it figured out. Okay, now that the poster's taken care of, these are just fun things to consider. Dress to impress. Wear clothes that would make yourself proud. This is the chance to maybe buy that new business outfit, maybe wear a dress that you don't get to wear very often. Dress like you would want your future employers to see, because they might be there. Punctuality is important. Arrive on time. If you miss your slot, you don't get another one. And practice makes perfect. You can always visit the library for some information on videoing yourself, recording yourself, all that good stuff. And lastly, enjoy the experience. It's a great opportunity that many students get to do both in Yuma and in Flagstaff. And every student that does it walks away with something. All right, so more information will be emailed to you when it gets closer to the symposium. But the research symposium itself for the in-person part is going to take place in the Schoening Center. That's going to be the 3C building, which is the Starbucks building at the front of campus. If you're doing it online, you'll be presenting remotely. We'll be grading it here, but you'll be at your home. And we'll send you information about the Zoom. For in-person, the time is 8:30. Arrive at 8 a.m. If this changes, we'll send you an email, okay? Just be always checking your email for updates and anything that might need adjusted. And then expectations. It's the same regardless of online or in person. Be there on time, be professional. And if you have questions, the night before is not the time to ask, okay? Give it a few weeks. That's all I have. You're welcome to go back through this presentation. Pause it at any point if you need information off of it. If you have additional comments or concerns, you can email Amy, the librarian, or the Research Symposium email address. And that's all I got.